Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor and call a groundworks company. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with JES Foundation Repair, a groundworks company.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Summer means firing up the grill, getting together with friends, and making the most of the weekends. Total Wine & More is my first stop. Whether it's seltzers and ready-to-serve cocktails for the cooler, or a good bottle of bourbon, everything I need is at Total Wine. With the lowest prices, it's easy to stock up for whatever the weekend brings, and I can get everything I need in one stop. Shop Total Wine & More and get ready for your next summer party. Spirits are not sold in Virginia or North Carolina. Drink responsibly, must be 21.
Jimmy Conrad here, and I have something to put on your radar. The Core Short from Viore. Because after getting my first pair, I was hooked. They work for everything that I like doing. Soccer, tennis, hoops, and lifting weights to name a few. And they're unbelievably comfortable, which is why I wear them doing everything else. They are designed to work for whatever your day throws at you. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. So head to Viore.com/footy. That's VUORI.com/FOOTY. Exclusions apply. Visit the site for full details.
We've been the trusted experts since 1960 because nobody knows tires better than we do. And with over 90 tire brands, we have an abundance of options in stock for your vehicle. Buy and drive today at DiscountTire.com. Let's get you taken care of.
Ready, set, summer. With the Honda Summer Event. With available features like all-terrain tires and off-road tuned suspension, the rugged Honda Pilot, Ridgeline, CR-V, and Passport have all you need to get summer ready with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Based on EPA estimate of 2024 large full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy. EPA Automotive Trends Report 2025.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and welcome to day 5 of 14 days of summer fear. I've got another 3 stories to share today, and I'll get straight into them. Are you ready for the first story? North Florida, 2009 crawler sighting. Like others, I mistakenly identified what I saw back in 2009 as a skinwalker. Always felt it wasn't quite right. Now, I'm certain it was a crawler. I was 9 to 10 years old, living in North Florida, about an hour south of the Georgia border, in a very remote and underdeveloped town. I know the town name, but I'm omitting it for privacy reasons. The town wasn't in the Panhandle. Where we lived was a 20 to 30 minutes drive away from Osceola National Forest. My family and I were living in a trailer at this time, which is very important for contextualizing what I saw, how I saw it, and how I know for a fact I saw what I saw that night. For those that don't know, trailers are almost always rectangular, so the whole layout of the house feels like a big hallway. Those that have lived in trailers before will hopefully understand what I mean. The trailer park it was in, you had to drive through nothing but trees for a while before you got there. The trailers weren't close together to one another because each had some space for yards, not fenced. My family's trailer had a neighbour to one side and trees in between the road on the other side. So it was the first one you'd come across on your right as you enter the trailer park. Across the road, It was just more trees. Behind our trailer, you guessed it, more trees. It was late at night, and I was using the computer to watch music videos on YouTube. The memory is so vivid, and still terrifies me to this day, that I can even remember what music videos I was watching that night. I don't know the exact time, but I know it was late, because I was the only one awake. My mum and very young brother were both home and asleep. Both of them would always be up late too. I'd stay up really late because it felt like the only time I had a bit of undisturbed peace to myself. The computer was in the living room and right next to my bedroom door, and positioned in a way where all I had to do to look into my room while on the computer was to look to my right. So I'm sitting there minding my business, all alone like I had been for the last several hours. Then suddenly, I got an overwhelming feeling of being watched. I had headphones in that I took out. I didn't hear anything or any sounds from my mum/brother, which would have had to have come from my left side, as my room is at the end of the trailer and the other room on the other end. At this point, I'm terrified, even though to this point it's only been like a literal few seconds, because this encounter happened very quickly. I looked to my right, where I could see into my open bedroom, because I'd left the door open and the light on as well. On the farthest wall was a window, so I had a direct line of sight from where I was sitting, just by turning my head to the right. What I saw, standing in my window that night, I'll never forget. It makes my eyes water and my nose sting every time I remember. The thing I saw, the thing that was watching me, and I had that feeling of being watched for longer than I realised. It was so tall. It had to have been like 7.5 foot minimum, because its head came more than halfway up the window, and our trailer was on a foundation, so the window was higher from the ground than a normal first floor window, but not as high as a second floor window, if that makes sense. But that's how I know for a fact that this thing was tall. The only parts visible were the head, shoulders, long skinny arms, and a long thin torso, and the rest of the body was out of sight from where I was, and I was not getting any closer. And it was pale, so pale, like so white it was kind of reflecting the light from my bedroom. And it was so skinny, so gaunt and thin, yet somehow still so big. It was just standing there, watching me. But I don't have a specific memory of having seen a distinct face or any eyes. It was most definitely humanoid, but I just instinctually knew that it wasn't human. It also would have had to have been naked, technically, like it was definitely not wearing clothes, whatever or whoever it was. I froze for what had to have been only 3 to 5 seconds and stared at it. And it didn't do anything, it just stood there. And then I turned my head to the left, then my whole body, and got up and ran so fast to the other side of the trailer where my mum and brother were sleeping in their room. I crawled into bed next to my mum and lay there terrified and unable to sleep. I only finally fell asleep after dawn came, and I felt safe to sleep with daylight. I told my parents about it, and of course they did not believe me. Well, my dad outright did not believe me, but my mum believed me kind of. She just thought it was maybe a teenage boy that lived in the trailer park and was watching me. That thing was not a teenage boy, because there's no way he would have been tall enough, and there was nothing to stand on. Not that it would explain the proportions of the thing I saw. I also checked around the window the next day, and there wasn't any sign of footprints or disturbance or anything. And also, even at the time, I remember thinking that there wasn't a teenager living in the trailer park. I mean, it could have been a grown man, but my previous points still stand. The overall encounter was so short, but it's almost like I remember it in slow motion. It gave me a phobia of sleeping or even being near windows without curtains for years after. I know I wasn't asleep or dreaming or confused about what I saw. I never slept in that room again either, lol. I didn't want to go in it at night. Either way, a teenage boy, a man or a crawler outside of your trailer window is terrifying. Even, like, I did notice the way the mum was like, maybe it was a teenage boy. Even that, staring in, come on, ring the cops, man. That's terrifying. Or a man, or a crawler. The author obviously is adamant that it was a crawler, and I tend to go with them. Are you ready for the second story? 2004 Washington State sighting. It was 2 or 3 in the morning, and my group of girly friends and I were coming back from another friend's house we snuck over to so we could hang out. Well, that girl fell asleep and didn't let us in, so that's why we ended up going back to my place, about a mile away, in unincorporated residential neighbourhood. Mile there and mile back, in darkness, no flashlights, only occasional house lights and natural night vision that only the youth possesses. I'm talking like old suburban neighbourhoods, with a swathe of enmeshed, gated subdevelopments in between. We get back to my house okay, but as we set foot on my lawn, that's when I saw it. My front yard sloped down to the shared neighbourhood driveway, as all the lawns did, with the houses built above to allow for drainage. We all had these huge rhododendron bushes that lined the fence dividing the front yard from the backyard. So, about 10 yards from where I'm standing in the driveway at the bottom of the slope, the only light came from my next-door neighbour's floodlight mounted on the apex of their house. One of my friends suddenly pushes me down, face first, knocking the wind out of me. As I'm about to ask her, what the heck, she tells me to shush. I'm pinned down by this girl, so I look forward again to see what it could be. And there, in the rhododendrons, I see a crawler turn and look our way with golden eyes, like the kind that a cat has that flashes in the light, but not with a slit, just the eye shine. It moves further along the fence line between the bushes, paper white, emaciated, hunched over with long gangly arms and legs, walking like stilts like it's trying to hide, but going toward my house. As I'm about to scream, my friend lets me up and tells me to run. So I do, right to my front door and in the foyer, where my mum is waiting for us on the stairs. We all get inside, and after some chastising, she tells us to go to bed. I go around the house to make sure every door and window is shut and locked tight. After my mum goes back to bed, I say to the friend who shoved me down, "You saw it too?" No, she didn't. She shoved me down because she had looked up and saw my mum in the upstairs window watching us come back. She thought if we ducked, we could sneak back in without notice. But my going in through the front door ruined that. So I told her what I saw, and she said she didn't see it. It was all in my head. Maybe I was just seeing the light bend around the branches of the rhodey bushes, casting weird shadows. I know it wasn't like that. There were no cars on the road to cast moving light to make those kinds of shadows. Only one static light from my neighbour's house. And I saw it move. I saw the flash of its eyes. I swear I could see the bushes move too, and hear the crunch of leaves. All these years later, I now finally have a name for it. Crawler. I've been calling it a werewolf, even though it had no wolf-like features, because that's the only thing I could think of, because of the eye shine. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. That's the kind of thing we would have done as teens. I either got thrown out of somebody's house for being noisy and had to make our way home. We actually got thrown out of my house once and had to sleep in a block of flats. And then we were telling ghost stories, and all I could imagine was this, because in Henbury, where I used to live when I was a kid, up until my 20s, there were Roman burials, and all I could imagine was this, Roman soldier walking around the flat. But yes, so I get it, that you're going to be hiding from your mother in the bush, even though you don't realise that's what your friend is trying to get you to do. But, in the rhododendrons. We've got some down the road. I'm going to be checking these out every time I walk past at night now. Are you ready for the third and final story? Full disclosure, this is a no-sleep story. I found home videos of my family that shouldn't exist. My brother died when I was 7 years old. He was 13. He drowned in the lake down the street from our house. My parents never touched his room. They tried once, but they couldn't do it. Too raw. After that, the door just stayed shut. His room became a kind of museum of him. That was 11 years ago. His room still looks the same. This morning, while I was packing for college, I thought I'd finally go in there. My plan wasn't anything dramatic. I just wanted to grab a few hoodies, maybe a keepsake or two, to take with me. Something to hold on to when I got homesick. Full transparency. I've been in this room plenty of times before. I've sat on his bed. I've looked through his shelves. But I've never really gone digging. That felt wrong. And I really had no inclination to. I just missed my brother. That wasn't my intention today either. It wasn't my intention to find a stack of DVDs shoved into the bottom drawer of his dresser. There were 3 of them, just labelled 1, 2, and 3. The only DVD player in the house is still hooked up to his old TV. Everything else went streaming years ago. For a minute, I told myself not to do it. They weren't mine. They probably didn't matter. I picked up some of the items I had collected, put the DVDs back in his drawer, and returned to my room. Tonight they started calling to me. I know how that sounds. I know you're thinking it was just my curiosity eating at me. But it wasn't like that. It felt physical, a pull in my chest. So I crept back across the hall, slipped into his room, locked the door behind me so my parents wouldn't hear, and I put in the first DVD. It was a home video. I didn't even know we had any. I don't remember my parents ever owning a camera. The video starts with static, then clears just enough to show something. Picture is muddy, warped. It could be the living room, but the furniture looks wrong. Everything is too big or too small, shifting every time the frame jitters. Sometimes it almost looks like a bedroom, sometimes like a hallway. No faces, no clear shapes, just flickering shadows that don't match what the voices are saying. Because there are voices, familiar ones, laughter, clinking dishes, and my mum calling my brother's name. It sounds like a family in the background, just out of sight. I hear my brother's laughter, and the sound swallows me whole. It rings through my head, bouncing off the bones that make up my skull. Then, beneath it, is another voice. Low, deliberate, close enough that you couldn't miss it. you haven't noticed yet." Then the video cut off, just like that. I scrambled to replay it, not even thinking about the other 2 discs still stacked under the TV. I just wanted to hear him laugh again. That laugh. I tried not to think about the end, though the fear of it was crawling slowly up my spine as I hit play. Because the way it spoke, it sounded like it wasn't part of the recording at all, like it was speaking to the camera, to me. I pressed play again, this time pausing every few seconds, desperate to make sense of what I was seeing. But nothing held still. Everything on the film looked almost familiar, like a room you swear you've been in but can't place. The walls are a little too narrow, and the colours are washed out enough to make it something you've never seen before. It made me feel like my brain was short-circuiting. Then I froze the frame, just before the moment he laughed. And there it was. The caption, faint and yellow, burned into the corner of the screen. July 30th, 2015. 7 months after my brother drowned. My first thought was that it was a glitch. It had to be. The camera must have been off by a year. There's no other explanation. I forced myself to breathe and to shove back the panic rising. Then I pressed play again. His laugh filled the room, and for a second, my fear washed away. It was just him again. He was alive, warm, present. A bittersweet rush of comfort and grief. But then the voice returned. Closer this time. Wet against the microphone, broken and cutting in and out like static. "You noticed." I ripped the DVD out of the player and threw it across the room. I don't even know why I did it. Adrenaline, I guess. My hands were shaking so hard I couldn't control myself. I'm trying to think of logical explanations. I want to believe there's one. Every reason I come up with feels paper thin. I just bolted back to my room and dove under the covers. Like that would help. I don't want to watch the other videos. I don't. I can feel them pulling at me. Like they're not finished. Like I owe them something. I can't sleep. It's dark. It's late. The rain just started. The bathroom faucet always drips, but tonight it sounds so much louder. You could almost confuse it for footsteps.
Summer means firing up the grill, getting together with friends, and making the most of the weekends. Total Wine & More is my first stop. Whether it's seltzers and ready-to-serve cocktails with a cooler, or a good bottle of bourbon, everything I need is at Total Wine. With the lowest prices, it's easy to stock up for whatever the weekend brings, and I can get everything I need in one stop. Shop Total Wine & More and get ready for your next summer party. Spirits are not sold in Virginia or North Carolina. Drink responsibly, must be 21.
Jimmy Conrad here, and I have something to put on your radar. The core short from Viore. Because after getting my first pair, I was hooked. They work for everything that I like doing. Soccer, tennis, hoops, and lifting weights to name a few. And they're unbelievably comfortable, which is why I wear them doing everything else. They're designed to work for whatever your day throws at you. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. So head to Viore.com/footy. That's VUORI.com/FOOTY. Exclusions apply. Visit the site for full details.
I don't know what it means. I don't know if there's a glitch. I don't know what's happening at all with these tapes. But that voice, oh, you've noticed now. That's creepy and I like it. Well, that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you again tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
There's a fire inside you can't ignore. Stand still? Not a chance. You're a lifelong learner who's come this far. Now, we're here to help you keep going further. Capella University. What can't you do? Visit capella.edu to learn more.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.